Man, they gotta stop videotaping everything. These kids, man. I'm looking at this videotape of a defensive coordinator and a player going at it in a high school locker room. I don't condone that, but like, see if you can look up on Torian Charles, Year of the Bull. I don't know, Jaden, if you can do that. Since Miles got to do all the stuff here. Everybody knows, again, Jaden is, we're not trying to corrupt Jaden, but if any of you guys have a beautiful Caribbean daughter that has good morals and standards, we may be able to put him in the transfer portal. Even though he's in a great, fulfilling, loving relationship, we just sometimes we have to auction off the work so that we can get more viewers. So if you have a daughter, I believe in arranged marriages. So I mean, his mom's technically somewhere down the line, somebody owned both of us, both of our families, because we have the same last name. We had the same last name or maiden name. So it's technically like a nephew or some shit like that. I don't know. But if for those who don't know, I'm Big Game James _36, and this is Big Games B.S. coming to your special hurricane edition. Inside the home. I hope everybody's okay, first and foremost. So Torian Charles, Tauren, Charles, like Charles, Year of the Bull. We could put that when we do our MFTK segment. We will add that to the MFTK segment. We will talk about Robert Salah, Angelo Smith here. We got to get you back to green. One of the best retirement strategies is becoming a coach and getting fired. He's getting $20,000 a day. $20,000 a day to not coach. And you people are talking about how bad the economy is. It might be bad for us normals, but it's clearly not bad for the NFL. I thought y'all were boycotting the NFL. They're getting more money every day.
Even John Gruden's trying to come back.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's all right.
Give him better lighting, somebody. He looks.
I'm going to be honest with you. I like John Gruden. John Gruden is really good. Like John Gruden, but John Gruden definitely on testosterone replacement therapy. If not more. If not more than that. He is but he's okay, so so you can tell the era that people so alpha male is nothing more than the new A-type personality. So like it used to be, you had A-type, B-type personalities. That was in the 90s. That was the real like lexicon when it came to business and it just, so they always, that's why when you see a lot of older white males, they feel like they always have to be in your face. They always have to be brash because that's what I got to speak my Trump really, and I'm not getting political, but like is an A-type personality person. So like, that's what people in the 80s and 90s were trained that's who your leaders were. And that's so like you'll see a lot of that kind of stuff with the older people. That shit'll get you knocked out now. Like that doesn't mean there's more A-type personalities. It just means this younger generation ain't trying to hear that shit. So but that being said, it was only reserved for certain crowds because it's really all talk. It's more talk than actual physical. So like if I come up and I get into someone's face, it's generally scary. It's always been scary. But you flip it in I don't want to use this as because I don't want to feel like I'm picking on Coach, but Coach Norvell gets into somebody's face. If he's not Coach Norvell, someone who looks like that, it's considered that's just how you're supposed to do it. Me, scary. Then people start, throwing out all kinds of statistics about like that's why you guys make up, half the population in prison, which is not true. Make up 30% of the population, 28.4 if I remember correctly. It's a lot, still too much. It's double our population. But anyways, my point in all of that is that John Gruden still takes that. It becomes tacky when you're like in your 60s. It looks weird when you're like in your 60s and you're just like, and it looked like you either just did a whole bump or you drank an entire can of pre-workout. And like, we just got to kind of chill out. But he's so knowledgeable about the game that it's like, yo, I really
He expresses it in such a simple, fun way.
That's what. So I got to that. Did you see? The best compliment came on the IG quotes for the for me breaking down motherfucker ball. Best compliment. He was like, this man just broke down passing game concepts in less than a minute, better than anything I've ever heard in my life.
I can't lie. I've never even thought about the fact that it's odd. 11.
It's like I'm saying, like nobody ever tells you that. Like it's just
I played.
The only way you could kind of make it like to where it's not is if you have single high safety. But even then, he has to pick a side to go to. Yeah. So if he goes to the right, he takes himself out of the equation.
I was like, man, whoever made this game was a genius.
I don't even know if like sometimes accidents happen, and it just looks like. And if we're truly created in God's image, if we're truly gods on this earth, you know what that means? A lot of the stuff that we said, man can't make. No, we could. It was an accident. It was a beautiful accident, guys. It's in the Bible that says that this is what we are. We create stuff on accident. All Viagra was a beautiful accident. It was like a heart rate, like it was like a blood thinner or some shit like that. And it just so happened that the side effect was that you got a massive erection. And it turned out to be one of the greatest things for everybody. But I say all that to say is just that we were talking about, I don't even know how the fuck we got into that. But anyways, there's a massive hurricane coming here. And I saw somebody say, like, you know, people don't know how FEMA works. People don't know how natural disaster stuff works. Something that I want you guys to really work on, guys, is let's just learn how. This is why civics is important. And this isn't the show for it. I'm not going to tell you how the shit works. I don't really know how the shit works. But I do know that there's a chain of command. You gotta go and like there's this right while we have state rights. So this is technically, I hate to say it, a hurricane is a states' rights issue. So we have to like. Federal government can give us so much and then we have to request it. So just go through the process. I do know this. In some cases, you can get up to $42,000 if the damage is bad enough. So like really just realize that if somebody's telling you that one side won't do something for you, they're probably not trying to educate you. They're trying to manipulate you. If somebody just clearly just writes out that this is how things are supposed to be done, that's where you need to go get your information from and your source. You know, I hope everybody come like just if at any point we all needed to come together, this would be the time. So let's you know, try to figure that out. But just some interesting hurricane stuff. If you got go click on some of this stuff, Miles. Because I want to be honest with you. I need all of y'all to be safe because if something happens to you, who will watch me? So, I mean, I need that to happen. Here's one thing right here. I'm not sure if this works or not. I'm not well versed. I'm not that Mr. Fix-It type guy. I don't know. I really don't know. That seems dangerous. You know, if you've ever seen like one of those things like in the movies or like when something that's being held down by a lot of pressure and it pops up, like it never ends well for the person who's around that. So like, I don't know if that helps keep the house down.
It doesn't. I don't know anything, but I know that.
And I'm going to be honest with you. So there was I should have retweeted. I saw this when I was on the porch smoking last night. I saw this guy. They did a hurricane simulation. Clearly the guy was on a green screen because there's no way he was in it. But they showed category 1, category 2, category 3, category 4, category 5. Now, I've lived through a category 3 hurricane. Like I call bullshit for some of it. I'm not saying that it can't happen, but they always make it the scariest possible thing. But when it got a category 4 and a category 5, the biggest thing is you start seeing like the shingles in the roof Like that's what really starts to because of the winds.
Yeah.
If there's a weak part of every, like anytime you're doing construction, there is a weak point to that house, and so that's how the roofs fly off. Which I never knew how the roofs fly off, but like it, all that's going to do is crumble the roof, and even if it does keep that part down, it'll make the roof collapse in. And so yeah, thank you, Lonnie. It's gonna. His house is gonna fly off by brick, literally. I built this shit, me, brick by brick, a quarter brick, half a brick, whole brick. Hey, that's how the house is gonna go. So I mean, but what was wild is he got the house down, right? But then, okay, we'll read the saying 1000% will help the house, help that roof if the anchors have any strength. But like in the model, it showed like it will take off the section. So like if he's not, like I don't know if you could find like a rubber band or something like that, whatever those things. It's not. I know it's not a rubber band, but something that's like can cover the entire roof. Like all it's gonna do is just that. I don't know if they can't see my finger, but like that one part where the truck is, that section's just that little piece is gonna fly off, and then the part that's being anchored down. Just by my limited knowledge of whatever that is, but you know what? I'm not rooting against him. No. I wanted to work for that brother. It does. But what happens when Tampa gets underwater and the storm surge just is over? It's like 20 feet or some shit, and it just wipes the whole place out. And what's crazy about Miami is it's shifting down that way. So, like you see,
they're just not built.
So one of the first things I learned, I promise you, I learned this at a Chamber of Commerce meeting, is that it is damn near impossible for Jacksonville to get hit with a direct hit. The only way Jacksonville can get hit is if it like what was like where we were at on the map. And even then, the way the winds are like around this area, it pushes shit down or pushes it west. So think about the hurricane model for the last one we had 2 weeks ago. It was supposed to fuck us up.
Yeah.
And then even when it did shift east a little bit, it ain't shift east a lot of bit. Like, all right, so they say you can have, so we're making it, so if a guy does that, he must have anchors on his home.
Okay.
I mean, that's what it's saying. So I'm with you. If it's going to strip the shingles off, he's going to get a new roof anyway.
If I'm doing that, I'm definitely leaving.
Well, yeah, I hope so. Well, the cars are there. But what about the cars being there?
I don't know.
What happens when the wind shifts the car into the fucking garage?
I would have trouble.
Just get the fuck out of town, man. It's okay. Listen.
You heard what Georgia was that Atlanta mayor who said?
No, that was Tampa's mayor that said, and they're mad. Clearly, if they listened to our show, they would have heard what Live Oak, what Suwannee County's mayor said to their people. I mean, the sheriff said, if you're staying home, write your name, your birth date, and your social security number and permanent marker on your skin so that we can identify your body.
Right.
You're mad that a person said a category 5. You have not been hit with a category 5 hurricane in over 100 years. 100 years. I'm going to say that for the Southerners, 100 years. That means, I'm going to use common sense for you, most of the buildings in your area are probably not up to code to handle that kind of wind.
The mayor should know, or the sheriff.
Listen, Luke says it's not going to be that bad. You know what? They said that in Katrina. And then the levees broke. Like, they haven't been directly hit by anything. And they got hit 2 weeks ago. Yeah, brother. Brother Luke, brother, stop. Literally, the bitch is going right through Central Florida, Tampa, Orlando, all of that shit. Where's Bradenton, Florida? Anybody tell me, where's Bradenton, Florida? What is Bradenton, Florida right next to? And how big is this fucking hurricane? Is it just the size of a city? Or is it literally, like right now, is Jacksonville, Florida getting rain because of a fucking hurricane coming through Tampa?
Luke not being afraid of a storm is the whitest he's ever been on a show.
Yeah, brother. That's something like
we don't do the water like that.
Look,
we don't do the
look,
water.
man, it's black people, dog. Like we don't swim either, dog. Come on, brother. Like you know this, man. Hey, man, I don't put category shit. A category 3 hurricane hit Jacksonville. You know where I live at? I live in a no flood zone. They say it is literally damn near impossible to flood my street. You know what happened the last category 3 that hit Jacksonville, that rolled through it? My whole fucking street was flooded. I was the only person that didn't have. Here's what I learned that you need in my neighborhood: chainsaws and canoes. All the white people in my neighborhood had chainsaws and canoes. All the Hispanics, you know what we didn't? We didn't have chainsaws or canoes. We're sitting here. I'm literally terrified that why does everybody have a chainsaw and a canoe? Was that in the HOA meeting that I missed?
That's very specific.
That's very specific stuff. And they were excited. Trees are down. Let's go.
Yeah.
Just like they out there all looking like, was it Jason Bourne? They all got the chainsaw, like the dude from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah. Let's go chop some trees down so people don't get blocked in here.
That's what they bought it for.
And galoshes. Like they all got rain boots, canoes, and like they're just out there having fun, swimming and shit. I'm like, that water is not clean.
Canoes.
Bro, so that was I put out I smoked one of my $150 cigars during that hurricane. I went on the porch. All the power was out. And I could see the magnificent power of the hurricane. Because it looked like we had, like you could have surfed on our street. That's how hot, it was like sheets of water coming down. I'm not coming down, she was like sweeping east, whatever that is in my neighborhood. And I couldn't see anything but that. And it was black. And the water was all the way up to the front porch. And I'm smoking, and then the Florida boy in me came out. And I said, wait a minute. This is still water. And we have woods behind me. And I'm smoking a cigar and I can't see shit. It's alligators and snakes. I took that cigar, threw that bitch into the water, walked my black ass right back in the house, man. I was just like, wait a minute, dog.
That's what I don't understand. We have so much deer, so much wildlife. Where
did the deer go?
Yeah.
I saw some deer running this morning.
Maybe they're traveling somewhere. They're like, oh, we got to get ahead of this storm.
They do say that they know when storms are coming, so they do like leave a while in advance.
That's
but
wild.
Like I be like, not just them. This is gonna sound real inconsiderate, and I'm not trying to sound inconsiderate, but like them and homeless people.
Yeah, but they have shelters are built for the winter.
Yeah, but they all don't go into shelters though.
Yeah, that's true.
But I will say this: like, why don't this? What I really want to do though is I want to get rich enough. I saw a YouTuber do this. They bought an old school. Like, and nobody. I'm not like we have all these buildings that nobody does anything with. Like, that's what like they're putting. So we've closed down Jacksonville this year. Closed down a bunch of elementary schools. Mm-hmm. They have some other schools that are on tap to close too. Like, why don't we sell those to like rich people and let them get refurbished? Because you know it's not going to get knocked down.
A rich person?
Well, that part too, but a school.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, this is what the mayor of Tampa said. If people want to know, this was
all of you. Because you can't survive it.
This is the truth, right? Fair
it's not possible unless you're very, very lucky.
Tell you anything that's over
and your kids die.
This is what the weatherman
all the way up to Jacksonville
had to say.
This moves 20 miles to the west, and you and everyone you know are dead. All of you, because you can't survive it. It's not possible unless you're very, very lucky, and your kids die too.
This guy,
all the way up.
Come on, okay. Now I see what Luke's saying. Some of these guys.
That's not.
A little extra
That's not what the Tampa mayor said.
Okay.
That was years ago. That's not even the same trajectory as the hurricane. The hurricane is coming from the west.
He said they're your kids too. I was like, hold on.
But I'm saying like this is basically what the Tampa mayor said. Your favorite puppy. If this goes a little bit to the west, your favorite puppy, your church, your grandmother, and everyone you know and love is gonna die. Actually, you know what? This is why I love. This is a safe space for all of us. This is why I love white people, right? Why do you love white people, Big Game? I love white people because they truly embody MFTK.
Oh,
Did you
sure.
listen to what he said, right? He said, if this goes a little bit to the west, everyone you know and love will die. Then he went on and said some other things. And do you know what he ended it with? He's already said everything that you know and love will die. So that should incorporate this specific category of kids. I mean, of people. Oh, and your kids die too. Y'all don't love y'all kids, man. That's the first thing I'd be thinking about is what's wrong, what's going on with my kids. Except for right now, because let me tell you what Duval County is doing. We have the new tracks. It is literally sweeping Central Florida. You know who's not on track to really get anything but a little bit of rain now? Jacksonville. Just like the last one. It's like if they could just wait one more motherfucking day before they cancel everything. Like this would be so much easier to deal with, man. Yeah, we don't need to practice against Fletcher. We're going to beat the fuck out of them. And they know it. It's just like we're going to talk about what happened with Mandarin University at First Coast here in a minute. But they knew that ass whipping was coming. We could have whooped their ass last Monday when wasn't no good fucking football games on. I had to miss Monday Night Football until the end. You know who was on Monday Night Football this week? Xavier Worthy's mom. I had to miss Xavier Worthy's mom because they decided that they had to push because it wasn't safe. Man, we beat them motherfuckers 27-6 and they canceled the bro. And the 6 points was bullshit. The referees threw the flags up and down the field. My brother in Christ, they stopped the football game with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. For no natural disaster, nothing was going on. They just said we don't want to play anymore. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left, dog. Dog, she could be cross-eyed. She is boxing bosomed. That is what she is. She can have a little lazy eye, man. That's ain't nothing wrong with that, man. We get that fixed. I heard Jamila say we could get that fixed nowadays. We had a doctor on that said lazy eyes can be fixed. Anyways, go to the other stuff with the hurricane. That's what I like the most, Londa. She's low key. Now let's look at this hurricane right here. Now, this is where it was at as of, go back, click on the tweet. As of, what's today? Is it 8? No, 2 days ago. Now, 2 days ago, this bitch was over there. Florida's in there somewhere in all of that. So, yeah.
285 kilometers an hour.
180 miles per hour. 180 miles per hour. The tweet that this came from, the dude said, all I saw was 180 miles per hour, and I thought it was another Georgia player getting pulled over for a DUI. We know those are deadly. We've seen that happen before. We've seen what happened when Georgia players go that fast. Luckily, nobody has died recently. And is that guy doing good in the NFL? Because he still got drafted. I just don't remember. I haven't paid attention. I don't even remember which one got had all of that going on. Go to the next thing. Now, this guy, Luke's uncle, out here saying, man, fuck all that. I need somebody to shit. Said Lieutenant Dan ain't leaving. He said Lieutenant Dan ain't force. No, that was Forrest Gump.
Oh,
that was Forrest Gump. But that was how he got rich with all the shrimp boats. All the shrimp boats got destroyed except for his. And he got all the shrimp. What does Lieutenant Dan say? Let me hear his theories on Category 5 hurricanes. And this is Florida, man. This is what every Florida man is. Florida.
All right, Jay, they're saying 20-foot storm surge.
It could be 120. It doesn't matter. The boat floats. That's the whole thing. Keep the water on the outside of the boat, and the boat will go up with the water and down with the water. That's what we want to do.
Can we please get you into a hotel?
No.
Everybody's been asking, man. We got to get you off this thing.
Listen, the only way I'm going to go to a motel room is if a woman invites me and she's going to stay. That's the only way I'm going. That's the only thing I give the boat up for is a girl.
A girl. With Jenny. For a girl. Even with the 150-mile-an-hour winds.
You know what? I ain't worried about nothing.
It's not worried, guys.
Listen, you see this tattoo right here? IGY6. I got your 6. I got your back. Because
Yes,
God
sir.
got mine. So if I say I got you, I got you. And if I got you, God got you. I ain't worried about it. And I really, what am I going to fear? Dying? My only fear is waking up tomorrow broke.
All right, that's fair.
All right.
Were they able to hear him?
Were y'all able to hear? No, yeah, obviously they heard him. They're talking about him. He is speaking from the heart, and I hope he's an organ donor so that somebody can get his heart. Like when people say, like, again, you know, like I saw, you know what? You're right, dog. God got him, right? God got him. And we are vessels of God. So what I need him to do is go take that boat and paddle that bitch or swim, whatever the fuck he needs to do, right into the heart of Milton and say, peace be still. Or say, like that song, I told the storm to pass. Storm, you can last. Go away. I command you to move to all y'all motherfuckers that I want to, you know what? I swear to God, I will build a fucking church by hand. If all y'all go out there to that, show me that. That's how you know how you can get it and convert everybody and make this a true Christian nation that keeps getting hit by fucking category storms? Clearly, he's not listening to y'all. If y'all believe in man-made harp, y'all should believe in God-made harp. Y'all know what harp is? That means you ain't no real conspiracy theories if you don't know what harp is. Go out there and tell that storm to pass then. We should have a line of Christians at the beach right now. Remember, was it not Billy Graham? Who was the dude that just died that's looking up on us from hell that said COVID-19? I blow you away. And COVID got worse when he blew it on us? I mean, take y'all ass down there. Take it. God got him.
No, God might be sending this storm. I'm not trying to.
Yeah, that Polo Kid, that's what it really is. It really is Darwinism. But low-key, actually not even low-key, high-key. I want him to survive because I know he's going to have a hell of a story to tell.
Yeah, I'm trusted in him. I'm not even going to make fun of this man.
No, I want him to survive because I know he's going to have a hell of a story to tell.
He might be blessed because if he does survive, he definitely is blessed. That boat was not built for
That's not even like the type of boat that does that, dog.
Yeah. I'm like, dog, I'm praying for you. But he was spitting some bars, though.
My boy said, was a pastor, Adrian Crawford, engaged church in Tallahassee. Adrian also played basketball for Florida State. He said, it takes a special type of idiot to have faith.
Yeah.
But it takes an idiot to have idiot faith. And he says there's a difference between faith and idiot faith. He says when people say that God got me, they don't realize that it's more of a ram in the bush type situation. God told Abraham to kill his dream that he gave him.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to go do it. And instead of him having to carry it out, there was the ram in the bush that he could sacrifice. That's how God talks to you guys for the most part. He actually, to be honest with you, prayers are answered through people. If you really believe it. It's very rarely is it just one of them true supernatural occurrences where the angel has to come right out.
Especially after the Old Testament. It's pretty much
the New Testament is like, man, God, I need provision. I need money. Then somebody comes in. Like right now, I want to see what the testimony of all of those people up in them sundown towns in North Carolina and South Carolina that are still feeling the effects of Helene are wondering now about how God sent some Negroes up there to help them.
Mm-hmm.
And if that would change, that would soften some hearts. But anyways, it's just, you got to find, as a Florida guy, you got to find humor in all of this. My humor is this, Miles just brought this in here. That's how we're getting through our hurricane preparedness strategy by Big Game right here. This is what we're doing. The most important thing that I found out was that what was the schedule of my Starbucks. So Starbucks closes at noon today for them to make preparations. They will be open at 2 p.m. tomorrow.
What?
And because of the hurricane and the inconvenience that they're giving people like me for having to wait till 2 p.m. to get their little cup of joy, you know what the time they're opening up the rest of the week? 4 a.m.
Are you serious?
I've never seen Starbucks open that early, man. Most of them 5 a.m. is the earliest the bitches opening, man.
Niggas get paid like
Andre, more like people are like, if you can believe in HAARP, which I believe you should, I believe that those are type of things that could happen, then you should believe in global warming. They've been telling us that the Gulf of Mexico has been heating up. It's like 15 degrees warmer than what it was when I was a child. For decades, they've been telling us that this is happening and to make provisions so that we can make sure not that we're better, that our children's children are better. And everybody says, fuck, global warming is a sham. It doesn't make any sense.
Did y'all not watch Captain Planet?
No, they didn't. They thought Captain Planet was a bunch of liberal BS, liberal hippie bullshit that was sent here to distract us from American exceptionalism and drilling oil.
What about the commercials they fed us in the 90s about the ozone layer before, you know?
So, do you know what they also did in the 90s? It taught, and again, so some of it was really, really good. And then it needs to be adopted. Actually, a lot of it still needs to be adopted today. Now, a lot of this stuff is some hippie liberal bullshit. Like, again, we drank milk we talked about this. We drank milk all the time.
Yeah,
milk, it does the body good. Milk, get more calcium. Now they drinking nut juice.
The whole food pyramid got flipped on its head.
Now, technically, the food pyramid was elite marketing. That right there that was all a marketing ploy. Like, they have the facts and the data when they went to go get the person who was in charge of the stuff, and the reason why it's not this show. The funny thing is the conspiracy theories that people believe and the ones that they won't believe. And now they'll believe that government is bad. All government is bad, but only all government is bad when the Crips are in office. But when the Bloods are in office, that's when you believe in government, or vice versa. Whereas people like me, I believe the government is trying to fuck you, but they can't fuck us all the way.
Yeah,
you know why? Us. They need us. Like, if you have no one to govern, then you have no government. They need somebody to go out there. Like, once you realize what you are in this place, Killer Mike had one of the greatest, dopest statements. He's like, the guy said, you're just a good leader. And you happen to be in a capitalist country. So in order to be a good leader, you have to be a good capitalist. He's like, if you were a Chinese, you'd be a good communist. You'd be this, you'd be that. It doesn't change. It's just once you realize what the rules are, play within the rules. It's like, if you've played, this is a sports channel, right? That's all. That's what the greats really did. And they manipulated the rules to help them out. That's why Jordan is a GOAT.
It's also why people rob people.
It's also why people rob people.
We all try to play the game.
The one thing is, you eat the rich. That's why crime happens.
Yeah.
And think about if they take away this game from us.
Imagine running from Ray Lewis.
The evil, which you call crime, will increase.
What you call crime?
Well, why would you say that? Well, because we have nothing else to do.
He could just not read a book, not frolic. Ray, go outside. Damn,
Ray, you don't have to kill people. We know that's what you do when you get bored. Like,
Chinese checkers.
You pray, you kill, but like, no, have you tried Mahong? You tried Monopoly Go? Like, also short, man. Spend time with your family, man. Oh, there's a couple other different things. This is, again, fuck the meteorologist saying that this is the craziest storm ever. This is me right now. The storm. One, I know some people going through breakups and stuff like that on a regular. This is a great song. I don't care what he did in his past. He would not take away his art. He will not take away his art from me. I remember I heard this song and I didn't even think about who he was calling at the end. But this, how I was calling a hurricane, is exactly how he said Milton. Like, but my daughter's mother, boy, we was going through our shit, boy. This song was on repeat, brother. Like, play it.
You gonna burn what? Bitch, I wish you would burn my motherfucking clothes with your trifling ass Milton. You bogus girl. Milton. Dr. Pop warming up the recipe hole.
How did he come up with them all names? Come on, you in the middle of the hood.
Fucking clothes with your trifling ass, Milton. You bogus girl, Milton. Dr. Pop
I'm
warming
sorry
up
if
the
this is
recipe
not
hole.
funny. If you're really going through this stuff right now, I apologize.
No, it's funny.
But the Milton was how you said that. But man, when I tell you, dog, the best art you can feel.
Yeah.
Like when he said, "You gonna burn what? Bitch, I wish you motherfucking would burn down my clothes."
It stopped being a song. It wasn't even like going on beat anymore.
She said, "You said your girlfriend saw me where? What did she tell me some girls wear? Well, how many dudes did she say was there? How many dudes did she say was there?" Like you have heard you. So right now they got camera phones, right? So the girlfriend can just see you somewhere, click, and then send it to the girlfriend because it's your girlfriends that's your enemies, women. Because they know if you're single, y'all can be single and miserable together. But then when they get their boyfriend, they not fucking with you no more. They don't hear your shit. But like they'll tell you some shit like that, right? And then you like, so what? Man, I'm handsome. I'm in a club. Yes, women will be there. But did she tell you how many dudes was there? I was with my single friends. They was there. Like, it's like you over here, you fighting for your life. And she accusing you of some bullshit and she ain't listening to you.
No, I've been
Milton!
there.
I said, bitch, I wish you motherfucking would.
Did she say burn his clothes?
Yeah, like she
damn,
tried to do that,
wild.
waited till they say, oh shit, bitch, you gonna get your ass knocked the fuck out. Oh man, but again, that was funny. But how we really do know when it's hurricanes get real, because my dog Dr. Post is and this is when, you know, forget the Tampa mayor telling you that you'll die if you stay there, but scroll down. When Waffle House closes, get the fuck out of there, dog. Whatever you think your house is built, whatever kind of anchors you're putting down in your house, it's not built like Waffle House.
Right.
Waffle House is that beacon of light in a hurricane, in any natural disaster. Like, if they are closing, brother, get out of there. Get out of there.
Fact.
It's just, oh man, you click on the Spectrum Bay News. That shit is funny, dog. Life is just, oh my bad. We can get out of it. We can close all those things. Going on to the next thing. Amanda and you know, for some reason, unbeknownst to me, my alma mater decided that they don't want this kid. I just want you to think about how slow the game is for Cam Ward. And just watch this kid right here. Everybody. That's Drake's 5-star station. Game is just really easy for him. Our offense is still trying to find its identity. Still got over 400 yards of total offense, trying to find its identity. Really more so trying to find the scoreboard. They're trying to find our identity. Everybody's complaining about our guy, our new quarterback who's a freshman. And because, you know, we replaced Trammell. But I'm going to read this to you. Trammell's 9th grade year against the same team, first coach. Trammell was 6 for 18, 68 yards and a touchdown. And everybody considered Trammell like one of the best freshmen out there. But we had no expectations. Our freshman Knox was 6 for 14, 190 yards and a touchdown. Brother Angelo, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, my brother in Christ, but he ain't coming to Florida State. He's going to the U. He will still wear orange and green. The U got a good one. They could have had that one, but they got a good one. They're signing Andre Morpus. Will we get some revamped second looks? The problem is all of these guys are signing on early signing day. So those looks would have to be like these people would have to make these firings or hirings or whatever the stuff is. They would have to be done before the University of Florida game. We play Florida on the 30th. Signing day is 2 weeks after that, if I remember correctly. So, I mean, probably not. And we'll be getting ready to go to hopefully play for the state championship. The state championship is the Wednesday of the thing. But we need Robert Salah. That'd be awesome if we brought him in. But he doesn't know how to recruit. And he gets paid $20,000 a day. But I don't here's the wild part. If y'all really want to know my thoughts, we'll talk about FSU here in a second. But there's literally we did Teach Tape Tuesdays that none of y'all are looking at on YouTube. Go watch Teach Tape Tuesday and then ask yourself, was it really as bad? And I'm telling you, if you really watch the film with me in the way that I watch the film, it's going to piss you off because it's really. And then I'll talk to you about conversations that I've had with opposing coaches here in a second. Jaden, do you have the video of what happened with Mandarin and First Coast after the game that we can put up? Because everybody's trying to paint Mandarin as the bad guys. Can you go ahead and put that up there, please? And then Miles, we can go ahead and get the stuff ready for the next stuff after that, the MFTK moments. Oh yeah, that you do have them up there. But we've had okay, go ahead and put that up. Jaden will put this up here. Or Miles, I guess you could if you want to. Blow it up. So of course the liberal pussy ass media has to make sure they put it off in a certain kind of way. No, I'm just joking. I don't think Clayton's pussy ass media. I don't like the way there's a lot of other clips he could have put up, but he decided that this was the way to go. But so the what happened is our kids are still mad that this game didn't get played on last Monday. It was a very testy game where I think we might have had 30 penalties against us. The real talk, the only time they moved the ball was with penalties. I think it was one catch they made that was pretty good. But for the most part, it was just penalties. So we did the customary. Now, for a time in Jacksonville, they could not. It was so tenuous that people couldn't even do handshakes because of fights. One of our kids get talked about a lot. They treat Mandarin like nappy cuts, right? They can put Till Dog on there. Till Dog, this is why we talk shit at Mandarin. Put Till Dog's comment up there. Just found out that the showdown with Madison when Reigns was canceled. I really want to see that Country Boys versus the Hood ball game. The reason why our guys have a chip on their shoulder is people say we ducked Reigns. Everybody on the north side, like we don't ever talk about nobody on Greenland Road. Nobody. Like they could have played that game on Monday. They could have rescheduled that game. But like the Reigns coaches was at our game on Friday talking shit, talking to our players about how we ducked them. And our players are now wise enough to just tell them, y'all had week 5 open. Y'all decided to put y'all varsity players against our JV players. And we went to play IMG in Sarasota. We had a week 5 open. We tried to play y'all guys week 5. And one of their coaches says, I got the text message. I said, I got the text message from Wolfson coach saying you tried to play them week 5. When y'all told them that y'all told us y'all didn't have anything. I said, you show me your text messages, I'll show you mine. And I started pulling them up and he didn't pull his out. But this stuff right here is the problem with high school sports right now. It isn't the kids are reflective or responding to what the adults are doing. So all the bullshit when you coaching your kids and you pressing your kids, and then your kids find out that it wasn't what you told them, and instead of them going back to you, they tried to oppose the motherfuckers that was just whipping their ass for 4 hours. When they should be turning around, you told them these boys are soft. These boys suck. These boys don't want to play nobody. And then you found out it wasn't what you thought it was. And then you want to fight. And you think that these are just a bunch of bougie rich kids. And they're not. These motherfuckers come from the north side and out east just like any of these other kids. They like to fight. Which is part of the problem. Mind fighting. Their kid punches one of our kids in the nuts and our kid pops his ass. And the referees aren't throwing flags on them. They're only throwing flags on Mandarin. What happens when you feel like you guys know what it's like when you feel like you're getting picked on and you feel like nobody's stepping in? You resort to, well, if you're not going to handle it, then I will. Now, I told the kids, y'all got to, with this comes great responsibility. And then you don't tell them why you canceled the game. What? Show of hands, have y'all ever seen a football game get canceled with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left on it? I have never in my life seen that happen before. Never in my life. Matter of fact, you see that kid number 9? That motherfucker good, dog. But if you say you want to fight, he'll be like, okay, let's fight. I was waiting for this today. Like, we have to encourage him not to fight. So, like, when people start, like, saying shit like, you know, them kids ain't know how to respond. Them kids work all week. The backups worked all week. That's what we was about to do, put our backups in. It worked all week to try to get to play. And you just robbed them kids the opportunity to play. And that's the truth. Because, again, as a guy who likes to fight, if you know what, fuck it. If people going around just thinking Mandarin's bullies, then that's cool too. Fuck it. We'll be some goddamn bullies. But y'all bitches better, I know this right now, y'all motherfuckers better pray to whatever you pray to, that same God that y'all think is going to push Milton away, that we don't figure out our passing game. Because when that shit connects, dog, we really going to do the belt to ass shit. And what I'm starting to encourage Toby to do is be like, I told Toby, you be like Bobby in the 90s. You let us be the bad guys. You be the guy that says all the good shit. Let us be your own. Let me be Luca Brasi. You don't be out there. We go out there and we'll pull the hits. Outside of that, but that's basically what happened, guys. MFTK moments in life. Again, actually, this kind of parlays into whatever this pilgrim is saying, because I don't know what his problem is, but he clearly has an issue with life. And just because you put coach in your name doesn't mean, before I get into all of this stuff, I would like to evaluate the guy I'm talking about, please. So let's click on Mr. Beck, Coach John Beck. Can you click on his profile? I want to know what he coaches. I don't, maybe he's a coach, maybe he's not. Okay. He's a trainer, it looks like. He's a contemporary basketball. That's always never good. Contemporary basketball coach and consultant, serving players and coaches, transformation, holistic player development, former athlete. I'm assuming that's App State men's basketball, Northwest Arkansas, or maybe it's Arkansas State men's basketball. Yeah, when I see things like contemporary, transformational, holistic, that's some liberal logic, some liberal pansy bullshit logic, tree loving bunny hugger type shit. Go back to what he said. And while there's truth in what he is saying, there are programs for kids of this nature. A majority of high school athletes won't play at the next level. The high school athletic experience should be built around what's best for those athletes, not the fans, not the few who are lucky enough to continue to play. Build your program to include all your kids. High school sports should be about high school athletes. Okay. Wow, there's a lot that's a lot of word salad for feel goods and the kids who aren't doing anything. That's just not how the world works. Sports is a microcosm of society. Some of you are not like the star. You're not going to always be the main actor in a movie. Sometimes you are the person. You are the coffee cup holder number one. Like, you are an extra. The key to building great people, building great athletes, is to let them know when they're the main character and when they're not the main character, and to play your role. We all have superstars at our place of employment. Matter of fact, mine would be Toby Bullock, he's the head coach. I am not the boss in that situation. I have a role. My role is in support of the head coach to make him better. On that team, we happen to have a lot of athletes that will play on the next level. In fact, I am such a winner that I don't want to be around people whose end goal isn't to play at the next level. While you might not, if you're not trying to play at the next level, typically you're not trying to give 100% of your all. That's just the way the game works. Put your all in. That's what you're teaching people. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But the goal of sports is to teach people how to aspire for excellence and win championships. And I'm not sure if you've realized this. The only teams that go deep in the playoffs and that win championships consistently are the ones with people who are going to the next level. Do you not think that there might be some kind of correlation to all of that? So you go around and you go teach your kids that we're going to teach our kids, hey, this is what we should aspire for. That whole mantra, shoot for the stars and you'll get the moon. For those who don't know, the stars are typically further away than the moon. Just letting y'all know that. But if you believe in space, because some of y'all might not believe in space, because y'all believe that hurricanes only come to stop elections and shit. Like that's because I'm getting nervous for y'all. But you gotta go and you gotta push the kids. I don't like this. This fucks kids in the end. But him speaking as a trainer, this shit sounds really, really good as a trainer. Like this is what most trainers tell kids. Like, no, it's okay. Come over here for $75 a lesson and we'll get you a little bit better. No, I tell them, don't come to me if you're not trying to be great because I don't have time for that shit. That's why I made a good amount of money when I was doing it. And why people still want me to train their kids for some reason. I used to get all kinds of hate. All he's going to do is sit down, drink coffee, and yell at your kid. Yep, I said, watch your kid get fucking results. And watch your kid get motivated. I don't want to be around people. I said, even if it's a FCS scholarship, even if it's a D3 scholarship, it's still good. Hell, I just found out that does anybody know the football Twitter guy, Four Verticals? Like, I just found out this motherfucker went to was it Georgetown or the school where they just carved the epitaph in the person's what's up? Where did we Gettysburg? It was either Georgetown or Gettysburg. But bottom line, he played D3 football. And they showed a picture of him. And boy, he's not a looker. But yeah, like I said, I don't have time. I don't give a fuck if the kid sucks. I don't have time to not be around people who don't want to be great, man. Man, fights happen, man. I love it. Man, just a good old brawl. You guys are talking, but that's the other thing. People, you're right, Till, though. Y'all talking to a guy who was in that. Well, I wasn't in it. I'm not going to confirm nor deny. I was around in 2003 when we fought Florida. So, go to the next thing. I'm with you when you're right, and I know people on IG don't believe this about me, but I think there's been a lot of times when I've agreed with Dion.
Yeah, it's kind of fair,
man. And I don't have to like you to say that you're right. But this is what I believe about. I mean, I'm with Dion on this this new wave of shit where people are doing things where they're redshirting to preserve their years so that they can go somewhere else. Let's hear what Eight Toes got to say.
Several guys. You gotta understand it. I understand it, and I always want what's best for the kids. I really do. Like that's their prerogative. But it kind of puts us in a situation because now is there a question? Are you redshirting for us, or are you redshirting for you? And it should be NCAA rules and guidelines that if you choose that particular course, now that our guys are, we should be able to allow you to go. Because if a guy is redshirting for himself and he don't plan on being here, why would you want him here and he don't plan on being here? That's really not fair to him. It's not fair to his teammates. It's a lot of unfairness, like the gentleman who chose the red shirt, the quarterback. So is it right that he's still practicing with the team? Like, what course of action is that? Does he? I don't know. Does he? You guys tell me. Does he still practice?
He's not. No.
So you just let him walk away. It should be something. It needs to be a rule NCAA wise. To if that's your course of action, they should let them go and start their next journey with the whatever team that is that they've already been talking to, because they've already been talking. Just like the two guys from that we played several weeks ago, Colorado State. They said they were offered how much in the portal? 600. How you offered 600 and you didn't get in the portal? Why can none of y'all answer that question? How are you offered 600,000 but you didn't get in the portal? I got time today. All right, let's move on.
Wait a minute, that's funny. That is funny. I got time today. Now let's move on. But nah, he's right. Like it's not right. Hey, we got a question, Miles. They know this isn't mine. Who are these thick anime girls?
Oh, that's from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure on that would be your left. And that's straight from shit. I'm blanking on the name. Cowboy Bebop. These are classic animes.
How are Japanese people using such American, like the American words that don't even make mix? Like cowboy and bebop are two different things. It's like taking aspects of old school 80s rap in the most whitest thing that you could find.
Well, it's funny you say that.
Even though the original Cowboys are all black.
It's very influenced by jazz era and improv. So you'll have a bunch of action set pieces and choreography set to the pace and space fights to jazz. It's very artistically done. So that's where the bebop comes from. And Cowboys, because it's
Angelo
Space
said
Cowboys.
You're lying. That's cartoon porn.
Y'all don't know these are iconic characters. Unfortunately, your kids probably know of them too.
All right. Speaking of Pornhub, go to the interior porn clip. This is what I want for one day when my sons become more aesthetically astute when it comes to foot and like football more.
I got something cool.
Replacing my parents' chandelier with a jumbotron.
It was time to get rid of my parents' ugly ass chandelier, and what better way to do it than upgrading it with a freaking jumbotron?
I got something cool to show you. Come over here.
Holy shit. This is freaking sweet, dude. I'll put my earbuds in. Your mom can watch whatever she wants. Fuck that chandelier. That thing was ugly anyways, man.
Why are you recording? What the fuck is
Yeah,
that?
I knew she doesn't go with the room.
Corbin, can I have a normal fucking house with normal shit? This isn't a fucking frat house. You're just encourage.
Yes, because it's a jumbotron.
Then put it in the basement.
No, this
Not
solves
my
the
fucking
problem.
dining room.
Yes, we eat in here. You said no more eating in the living room in front of the TV.
Family dinner.
This is so fucking
You know
What
what?
do you think, Dad?
I'm with the boys. Go back to her plate real quick. You don't get to have a dining table and put onion rings on a plate. No, ma'am. If you want nice things, is that a china cabinet with no china?
It looks like all alcohol.
No. You're trying to be sedity and are clearly not. Now, if that had some good roast beef, potatoes, like some kind of vegetable, then you in a wine glass, you have every right to be mad, ma'am. You are literally eating like food from like you're eating tailgate food on porcelain. No, ma'am. That deserves to be there. The testosterone wins out.
He did pretty well with the blue lighting up top to try and match the
It's
wall.
really not. I don't think he even tried to do that. I think
okay.
it just happened to be that way. But this is what we need more of in America, damn it. It's the problem.
That's pretty cool.
Letting too many women influence shit, and now the world's getting a little softer, and this is good. I like this, man. Trey might.
Where would you want it?
That's Londa. See, Londa knows the game. Londa one of us, man. Londa like, you ain't even cooking in there. But you weren't nice.
That is super cool.
Now we're about to talk about, are we getting to that yet? We're getting to Miami. Go down. Oh, that's the continuation. Was that part of continuation?
That was after Miami.
That was the MFTK. Had to be. Go to
Oh, yeah.
Nah, that's the
one continuation.
Yeah. You might just learn about some of these things. The hurricane shit was kind of funny. Well, I mean, the hurricane's not funny, but the hurricane.
I'm really wondering how he built that jumbo.
Yeah, now I want to, like, he needs to do a YouTube. Yeah. Fuck all this other shit. All right, so we talked continuation. We talked about this on, and we don't have to click on that, but I mean, we can do that part. We talked about this on Monday's show. We also talked about it on the Gator Bowl, Tax Layer Gator Bowl Drive to Selection presented by Toyota. Dion will not be our coach at FSU. Like, guys, chill out. Chill out. Like, we can get a better coach. If you want a better coach than Mike, I 100% agree with you. Dion's not better coach, bro. Microwave society. Like, I'm nobody was a bigger critic of Mike Norvell than me.
Yeah.
Like, I just think everybody right now, we're just well, you know what we're mad about? Florida is bad, but they're still winning, and Miami is good.
Yeah.
Miami is like and we can't troll Miami. And Miami's does such a better job of trolling that Florida State fans don't know what to do. Do what the fuck they did for the last 22 decades, man. Ignore that shit and just say we're gonna whoop your ass next year. We haven't even gotten our ass whooped by Miami yet, and everybody's already like, "Oh, woe is me." You know what Miami was doing up until we played them? We're gonna whoop y'all ass. Miami Florida State fans are just like, no, we'll wait for Dion. When Dion ain't did shit to make you want to believe Dion's gonna be a good coach. And I have no problem with Dion. If he's the head coach, he'll get my full support. At the end of the day, though, man, come on, man. But I didn't realize they had money behind them. 3 former Disney executives, and so this could be money talks, bullshit walks. So we shall see as that happens. We talked about it. I believe it was 12-team conference. It was 12 conferences. The one conference was bullshit. The one with Florida State, Miami, Georgia, Florida, UCF. Hell no. Like, nah. But again, if people want to really know what's going on in Florida State, I'm gonna start doing it. I'll probably do it this week because we got time with the hurricane. I will give y'all a true, real deal Florida State talk once a week. Once a week. I don't know what's going on with Chris and Sporadics. I like going on other people's shows to talk about Florida State. I try to keep it off of my channel so it's not a Florida State centric channel. Obviously, most of the fan base watches this, but like, we'll talk Florida State. Whatever you guys want. If you got questions, make sure you at me, put that on there. We'll talk about those things. Let's try to do it for Thursday evening. No, when's Trey doing his take? Wednesday? Today? All right, so we'll try to shoot for tomorrow if we have lights and power. All right, go to the next thing. We talk about Sierra's prayer. This bitch did her Stephen A. Smith prayer for Stephen A. Smith, and apparently this is who he's with. And none of this shit makes sense, and none of these things do, but this is just women in their list anyway. Everything is kind of hypocritical and only has to make sense to them. But check this out. This lady wrote her prayer for Stephen A. Smith.
This was my prayer request to God before he sent Stephen to me as my future husband. Number 1, he will be God-fearing and lead our home according to biblical principles. Number 2, he would be romantic and affectionate. And he
back real quick. No. We can keep that part. My bad. That's even better. So I know we love to pick on the transmissions and everything because homosexuality is an abomination to God. That's what the Bible says. But the Bible also says is no sin is greater than the other. So I say that to say is premarital sex is still a sin. Now we all adults, that happens. Can y'all read this though? This lady asked, "How was your chiropractor visit? Did you send the flight info? Am I still checking into the W?" 1, nobody flies out. This is technically a flight for sex. This is sex trafficking. Because you ain't flying out to not have sex. Chiropractor was fantastic. You should be in some trouble. Send in flight info. Yes, you're going to the W. I ain't mad at him. I'm just saying that ain't got shit to do with Christian principles.
Yeah.
Like my sister in Christ, you about to fornicate. And that's cool because you're fornicating with Stephen A. Smith, and the only reason that's cool is because you know this man about to make probably $20 to $25 million a year.
Right.
So bless you, but like let's stop sprinkling. Yeah, let's stop sprinkling Christ on everything, man. Like it dilutes the power, guys. Finish it, please.
He will make me feel like the world revolves around me, even though I know it doesn't. Number 3, he will love my children as if they were his own, and I will love his children as if they were my own. Number 4, he will be financially stable and able to build wealth. Number 5, he will be socially and politically active. Number 6, he will be healthy and athletic, a non-smoker, but an occasional cigar is okay. And number 7, he will be 6 feet tall, because you know what I like, Lord.
I'll go back. She literally had those as her list, and you can see the time her iPhone notes.
For occasional high-end cigar on special occasions is okay. You stop prioritizing gold digging. Like, Jesus Christ, you awful women. You're awful people.
We don't know anything. She didn't want to say, like, I just want a good man.
Right. Don't even put all the other stuff like he loves my kids. Take love out of it. Just say he's rich.
He's rich.
Just Jesus. You're off. I hate when people try to put virtue to something that's not virtuous.
So we gotta make this a real, like we did Sierra. We did Sierra's prayer with the sinner's, like that song. What was that? Who made the song Sinner's Prayer? Don't you know that God still hears Sierra's prayer? Oh man.
I never went that deep. I don't know if I ever prayed for someone in my life. But like, damn.
Player's prayer.
Yeah.
Her love language. Let's be real. Her love language is money.
Yeah. I just say it.
That's what she said.
I just say it.
He speaks my love language. He's $125 million a year. Man, get the fuck out of here.
I got in an argument the other day about love language because I claimed it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
It's a marketing tool, just like Valentine's Day or anything else. It's probably a nigga who made it.
You want to believe that shit so bad. Yeah, no. Here's the reality. You know what the true thing is? After 30, can be ready to make fucking concessions.
Yeah, thank you. Why is it only the man who understands that?
Figure out what the fuck is like your true deal breakers are. She doesn't. I want a woman with 2 eyes. Cool. I can understand that. Like they're gonna have the older they get, they're gonna have kids. And you know why they say it's a red flag if a woman is over a certain age that don't have kids? Because to quote Young Thug, something wrong with the pussy. Ain't nobody been able to pull out of you? Not once. Not once. I don't want it. That's for somebody else, brother. Hey, you might be holding it in. Hey, sweetheart, you could be perfect. Just for me, that's a deal breaker. Or you a transmission. I don't know yet. But anyways, go to the next thing, man. Like, it's just this shit just doesn't make sense.
That
man.
also, I can't even lie. That's a thing that I look for now in dating posts. I'm like, well, if she has kids, at least I know one thing.
Bro, like real talk. Like I'm tired of people. I'm just like with women and all that other shit. I'm tired of the victim mentality of everybody. You over here, you shouted all this shit. You talked all this shit in the stands, and now that somebody giving you the attention you want, look at the high school director of the University of Michigan. Look at how he talks to the fans. Bitch, he should be able to go up there and whoop your monkey ass if he wants to. Because I know he didn't just wake up and say, I'm going to play what he said. Because this is my problem with y'all. Everybody's like, the motherfucker. Nobody very few people are that crazy where they woke up and choose violence for specifically you. You did something.
Like, why am I in the red? Like, they were dirty. And I
Whatever you guys don't know, you better chill the fuck out before you get fucked up straight like that.
Hey, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, even your girl mad at you.
Girl mad at you. The players are looking at you, but then somebody puts, this is the kind of thuggery that the university admitted. Stop that shit. Ohio State fans, Wisconsin fans, like y'all, man, look, their face says it all.
Right.
Hey, man, I want to whoop this person's ass. Nah, kids, y'all have a future. I help recruit y'all out of high school. Let me come over here. And that's the problem. Again, that A-type alpha male bullshit that some of y'all try to espouse. Nah, brother, walk that shit like you talk that shit. You talk all that shit, somebody comes over there to you. Don't back down. Keep it up. Keep the energy. Or here's the thing. Let's be civil and enjoy the fucking game. And keep the trolling to a minimum. That's the only problem I have with social media is that people have taken this shit to the degrees and extremes that it should never be taken to. And knowing you ain't about that life. That's why when people be saying you shouldn't dox people, man, fuck that. Dox me if you want to. Dox me if you want to. If you come to my house, I got my rod and my staff. They comfort me. The thing you're gonna see when you come across that door, especially if it's at night, you're gonna see that light from the pump shotty, and the next thing you know, the angels in heaven gonna be singing this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine to you as the pump hits you right in the chest. You gotta stop that victim shit, guys. It's the problem with America. All that tough guy talk. Because the problem I have with it is you don't have to have that tough guy talk. It's so unnecessary. Especially when you're sitting in that section. When you're sitting that close, those tickets mean something. Typically, like it's not cheap to be there. Like, chill out, man. Enjoy the fucking game, man. All right, man. Going to the next thing. I'm with my guy right here. He says, I hate how y'all just sprinkle traditions on shit. Y'all say y'all don't like rap music playing at Florida State games. Y'all say that's why we're losing. Why can't we play the band? Why do we have to play this? I played football at Florida State for 4 years. 20 years ago, this shit did not happen. I can promise you that. Like, we didn't even have red lights that glow where you can turn the lights off and turn them back on. Hell, back when I played at night games, if you turn the lights off, it took about 20 minutes for them bitches to come back on. But push play real quick. I already know what y'all mean when y'all say y'all don't want to hear that music. You want to hear country music. And what's crazy is, so this is a tradition now, right? Do y'all see how quickly, like, you know what wasn't a tradition? Tom Petty won't back down at Florida either. That did not happen until recently. That's why when y'all say stuff, why can't we go back to like just calling it Christmas? You don't even realize that Christmas was a marketed holiday to you by the Coca-Cola company. It becomes, you guys are so quick to be and then so quick to call people sheep, but don't understand how quick you are to actually fall into a tradition that you don't even, that didn't even exist. Now people are going to say, oh, well, we've always done that. No, we haven't. We haven't always had fucking cell phones. Do you see all the cell phones on, rocking and rotating? You don't sometimes you don't even understand how quick you are to be indoctrinated. Bullshit. Next thing. I hate that shit. Now, I don't give a fuck what you guys think. You might want to change the channel for half a second, but for 32 seconds, we're going to see a pretty ass fat bitch. I thought I didn't like Lizzo because I thought she lost too much weight. This is about right good for Lizzo.
I didn't even know this was her.
The only problem I have with this is Lizzo didn't turn to the side. I need to know, was your ass big because you was fat? Or was the ass just fat and you are too? Because sometimes that happens. Y'all lose all that weight and then your ass disappears with it. But look, like if you just saw, like even if you just like, man, I can't be with Lizzo because she's fat. If you just take this right now, you put a sheet of paper right under the sports bra. it go up. You can't tell me that's not an attractive woman right there.
Yeah, I mean, she's not big anymore. I don't consider this fat.
Nope, she's just fluffy.
Yeah, she's just regular big girl.
Well, this is having to show that, but it's really nothing wrong with a little awning of the vagina. Keeps it shaded. Right, Charles. Is it's you know it's warm. You know it's. Anyways, man, going to the next thing. I think I'm trying to get to this Miami shit, dog. Oh, she's still plush now. She's still like it's still cushiony there. She ain't got that. Thought we were getting there. Nah, we'll go, but we don't have to talk about that. Go to the next thing. Yeah, we got to talk about this UGA Grand Theft Auto. I learned everything. You can learn a lot from the police reports. Shout out to Kobe Young. Not shout out, I guess it's probably the wrong way to say it, but Georgia wide receiver Kobe Young was arrested on misdemeanor assault charge. Now that is a much better way to write it than what it actually happened. Can we go to the next one? Apparently, he was arrested on charges of battery and assault on an unborn child.
Oh damn! They cut off them.
There was a huge. What wild is it's a misdemeanor. So what that? Like actually, they got the police report on the next picture. So just shift over to the next picture. Let's just see what they say in it. Black Arrow. See what is it? Assault on an unborn child. No bond. Nope. They don't do anything else to it. He's locked down. But if it's a misdemeanor, like that's what throws me off. Like, shouldn't that be a felony? Here's what happens in this world. As a guy that has happened to. Now, I was not arrested. I actually was forced by Florida State to make a statement. Can we be honest with young people? To play football, you have to be emotionally unstable. You run into other people. You're also in a period of time where your brain has not stopped developing. It's still developing. So age 24, scientists, if you believe in science, they'll say your brain is not fully developed until you're 24. During the most important pivotal years of your brain's development, let's say at a minimum, high school to that, between 14 and 24, if you're a good football player, you know what you've also done during that development? You've crashed your brain into other people's brains. Probably not the best for your overall neural development. Add to that traumas that you've dealt with if you're from specific situations. Add to that, you're dealing with sisters who are just known to be feisty and fiery at times. As a guy whose job is to hit other people and use your emotionals, is typically not a very good cocktail. And nobody's really giving people the game on how to like manage and manipulate these things. And really stupid incidents happen in youth that end up marking you for the rest of your life. We saw it with the girl from the D tackle from the Browns, I believe. Now, I do believe that motherfucker drug her ass from the front of the house to the driveway. But I talked about it, and I'm not saying he was right, but like if you've been told to get the fuck out the house 4 times by a 6'4", 320-pound individual, that you and you're 5'4", probably gonna get the fuck out of the house and then call the police. And I'm not gonna try to make a statement there, but then what ends up happening is your youth, your love, your feelings of love that you have, or let's be honest with you, we just talked about what the true love language is: money. Yeah. You realize you're about to lose your love language, so you want to retract and back down your statement. you can read these things, and when you know this information, this is not making anything right or justifying it. This is a case of a motherfucker probably shook the shit out of his baby mama because they was in an argument, and that bitch called the police, and then she realized if he goes away and he can't make no money, this baby that's inside of me cannot be taken care of. I have no reason to do that. And that's and that's a dumbass decision and a dumbass way to be. But goddamn, that's two dumbass people together. And two dumbass people make another dumbass child. And when people want to realize why America's in the way it is now, it's a bunch of dumbass people having dumbass kids, having dumbass kids and raising these dumbass kids. It is sad. That being said, it's at Georgia. Georgia, who has motherfuckers run like doing speed races, doing all this kind of shit. Bobby Biden was said to have a lack of institutional control because a motherfucker overslept for an exam. Now, we had some wild shit happen, but it didn't make ESPN like this. And I'm like, this is why Florida State fans be feeling like they've been picked on for so long, because this shit would get Mike Norvell would be fired if this shit had came out. Kirby has won 2 national championships. All they're going to encourage Kirby to do is give this motherfucker a suspension. Because the truth is, you don't give a shit. All you care about is winning. That's all you care about. As long as you win, you're good. But the whole thing is sad because we need better conflict resolution, man. That's what these kids need. They don't need no more free lunch. They don't need no more of this other shit. They need to learn how to resolve conflict in much better manners than the way in which they're doing. I learned that I can knock a motherfucker out on the football field. And that's where I took out. There's a lot of people I feel so sorry. If I could apologize to all of them, I would. But a lot of you people who probably played against me in practice, I was extremely angry at the world. And I couldn't hit other people in the world because you can go to jail for that. But I could hit you. So I don't know, is that called like transference or some shit like that? Like it's probably that's kind of fucked up. But I mean, I appreciate you being there for my overall well-being, mental well-being. These kids ain't learned that yet. Going to the next thing. You know what? We'll do a whole FSU show. We're gonna talk about this because we may not get to the NFL. I don't care what Luke said about her cross eyes. She is classic fine. She is 90s fine. And look at this. The camera's cut out. Oh, can they still hear me though?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me say this. Because he said she had him when she was 18. So she my age now. Because he's got to be like 20, at least 20. So that means she's 38 to 40. So, I have a theory on black women. It's not that black don't crack, right? As much as black women pick an age to stop aging, and they stay that for like 20 years. It's like my mama has looked the same since I was at least in high school. She's gonna get older again, and then she'll keep that face for another 20 years. She looks older, a little older. Not old, but like to me, that's how a 36-year-old looked in the 90s. So she got a little bit of lashes. She got her hair did, but it's like you know how the women, how we talked about how women be wearing that transmission makeup. Mm-hmm. Like she don't have, it's not overly made up.
Yeah.
Her lips are just there. She got some nails. It's like you see that, you be like, damn, man, okay. And she did. But go ahead, let's play. This is why I'm mad that I had to play the football game, because I missed this. I wanted to see this live. Jaden is over here texting me about Xavier Worthy's mom.
Xavier Worthy says his mom, Nikki, is his best friend. He said that
she
had him when she was 18, so she's like really his sister. He said our relationship is really close. She's meant the world to me. She's just been there for me. He said every step of the way we have that special bond, talk all the time. He was so happy that she was going to be at the game tonight.
I don't know
it is her birthday. One thing he did say to me, Joe, just
go back a little bit. I I can promise you the girl to her right is younger than her. And they damn near, the only reason I know she's a little bit older is like I can look at her neck. And that's like, that neck got a little bit of years on it. But it ain't that bad. It ain't bad. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying like, she really looked like she damn near the same age as the young girl. And that young girl got on way more makeup. And look at that. This is the face that we all want to have. Look at that. Look, that white boy learned that Black Lives Matter today. Look at that joy on his face. I know he looked down and said, Daddy, I don't know what's going on, Daddy, but I just saw something. Yes, son, we all got to get us one in our life. I'm with you, dog. I'm with you, Billy. We're going to push play. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I just know this is a Nikki Jones fan account. We like Nikki Jones. Damn, that's tough. I don't think they show the goodness of her. We can go into the next thing. She bad. We'll talk about FSU shit later. Stop coaches. Oh, this is one thing we will say. Everybody was talking about Nick Saban and how Kalen Dober, Malachi Moore was unacceptable. You win with class, you lose with class. Saban would have never allowed this shit to happen. But let's look at Nick Saban during losses. Nick Saban's got dude cussed out. Nick Saban tells, shout out to Crib, Ronnie Harrison, Florida High Zone. Nick Saban's trying to come in and break out. You saw Nick Saban got bumped. You saw he just said, nah, that boy from not Macon. It was Macon. Adrian knows. It wasn't Macon Project. What was that project that it's called Good Bread now? Good Bread Community. What was Good Bread Community used to be called? Those who from Tallahassee. Montre, give me a second. We get into Miami. Actually, no, fuck all that. I don't give a fuck about Dover. Get to Miami. Oh shit. Yeah, look at this. Can they see that? It would never happen under Saban. Saban boys knew how to straighten up and fly right. What? Nah, I wasn't. Ronnie not from Fourth Ave projects. Ronnie from the projects that's over there by Fun Zone. But anyway, skip Florida State. Go to UM versus Cal. I ain't gonna lie to you. That game was so much fun to watch. UM. I'm gonna tell you what you got. You don't have a national. I'm not hating. You don't have a national championship winning team. What you have though is you definitely have a playoff contending team, without a doubt, and you definitely have a team that's very reminiscent of the 2014 Florida State national championship team. And I'm gonna tell you why, in my opinion, it's like that. It's not South City. Like y'all just naming projects now. Like South City's on a completely different. Anyways, it's called Good Bread now. I do know that. Well, that's where Ronnie from. Cam Ward is very much like Jameis Winston in 2014. I used to say Jameis was so bored that he would spot teams' points just to prove that he can come back. One of the times that I remember the most was when Florida State played Louisville, and Jameis had one of the worst first halves ever. I think Florida State was down 21, and they came back and won the game. I remember being on the sideline for Boston College game that year, and he threw an interception. I remember him cussing out. I think it was Bobo. And Bobo said he ran a dig, and he says, when in the history of football has a dig been ran at 7 yards and not at 15? And it was just shit like that. It might have been Macon. Was it Macon? But it and I say this because the last two games, actually last three games, South Florida, they were in a dogfight too for a little bit. But definitely the Virginia Tech game, they should have lost. The Cal game, they should have lost. The same reasons they won are the same reasons they should have lost. and it's all revolves around Cam Ward. Like, Cam Ward played really bad, but he also played really, really good in the second half. The adjustments were he took what the teams gave him early, and they're playing. Virginia Tech is nowhere near as talented as Miami. Cal is nowhere near as talented as Miami. They have talented pieces, and they definitely executed where they were at. But, like, the offense wasn't clicking. And what's funny is people keep saying Cam's Heisman moment. And, like, can you have Heisman moments when you created the controversy in your moment? Like, is that how this shit works? But we got some of the clips and stuff. Like, outside of the game, probably the most fun thing watching the game was watching Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin is proof that Coke was better in the 80s, in the 90s. Like, do we have the, like, I wanted to, Michael Irvin was so animated that I wanted to take a bump with Mike. Click on some of the stuff. Like, shit, I wouldn't even talk, Yanni, I wouldn't even talk about Cam's phone. Cam's throws were fucked up. Scroll down a little bit, see if I didn't quote tweet that. Nah, forget that. Like, look at this. I am a Florida State alumni. I'm arguably what some people say a legend. Legend is a little bit harsh of a word. Legend is a little bit harsh of a word. For one, Luke, FSU would never have been down 25. Like, they should have never been down 25. You should have actually blown out the team. But, man, I have never been this excited at this dialed in. Like, Michael Irvin is in doggy style position. And I think, you know, like, the one thing I've said, and Luke can attest to this. Luke, don't you forget, you thought y'all were gone. I got the text messages. I told you, Luke, as long as you have Cam Ward, you're going to be okay. Because the same reason you were down 25 is the same reason you can win the game. Cam Ward was the reason why people aren't talking about it like that, is because it was Cam Ward's fault you were down by 25. And some big plays by Cal. But when Cam Ward started to dial in, and this is the only thing that would stop Cam Ward from being the number one overall quarterback is because he takes too many gambles too early, as opposed to just taking what they give you, and then you'll have the opportunity to take the shots downfield. Because once he started dropping it off to Martinez, once he started dropping it off to getting the tight end, there's Arroyo involved, he was able to hit Restrepo. You see how good they played? Anybody who's followed me, I have never said that man's name right on purpose the entire time he's been at Miami. I have never, like, Reposado earned his name, Restrepo. Like, Restrepo was nice. And that man, but we got to talk about this. Why is his arch like that? Have you ever seen the videos on Twitter and on YouTube, like, where the women show, like, that arch? Mike, playmaker, I already know about you walking into the Cowboys meeting room butt ass naked during your time there. Brother, you wildin', man. But anyways, though, I think they're good. Go to the next thing. But the game the game was amazing to watch. Here's where fans. So I'm going to talk about this, but I'm also going to talk in defense of Miami first. One, Rivals put this up here. I'm Rivals, but this is what I didn't tweet this. Other people tweeted this. Mediocre football teams in the ACC protecting Miami. And they're saying this because the official, Miami was caught in multiple controversial calls in the last two games. My argument will be and always will be, don't leave the game in the hands of the officials. Like, you were up 25. It should have never came down to that. Should have never came down to that. You literally couldn't score any points. Yanni put Mendoza didn't bend his back for Miami, and I was surprised. I'm gonna tell you why I don't agree with that. I think Mendoza did what you're supposed to do when you're trying to throw a football game. You have to make it look. You have to make it look real. It was 4th down and forever when Mendoza decided that he wanted to take off and run, knowing that he wasn't going to get that first down. This man, or maybe it was 3rd down. It might have been 3rd down. It was 3rd. It might have been 3rd down. Bottom line is he got clobbered, and that should have been targeting based upon what targeting is. I, for one, hate targeting. I just want them to either get rid of targeting altogether or fucking call it consistently, which neither seems to be an option. But Mendoza knew he wasn't getting that first down. I think he sacrificed his body knowing that Cam Ward was going to do the rest of it. He didn't play very well in the second half. They couldn't take any time off the clock. He did enough to show that it was a fight and enough to make sure that he could come back home to Miami by not beating Miami. Go to the next thing. Here's where I believe Miami is robbed. Was that the coaches poll? Yeah, week 7 coaches poll. Miami only jumped up to number 6. I don't think Miami's better than Georgia. If you want to argue with me that Miami's not better than those top 4 teams right now, I'm cool with it. If you want to argue with me that Miami's really not better than Alabama if they play, I go with that. But I tell you, Miami's damn sure better than Penn State. I personally think Miami might be better than Oregon. But I do think Kappa Kane make it make sense. SEC teams get beat by an unranked opponent and only fall a few spots. Well, that part is not really. I thought he was saying Miami should have been higher, but Alabama also beat the number 4 team that's on that list. So that's probably why they only fell a few spots. I mean, come on now, let's not be that way. But I think Miami should be number 5. I don't think they got that right. That's me being. I think Texas, Ohio State, and Georgia are probably the only teams that are better than them at this point in the season from what we've seen on film. Now, Playmaker again was on a whole. That man was wired, man. Cocaine must be. I know they say the weed is better in Cali, but I definitely believe they must have good coke out there too.
He came into your house, sat at your damn table, held your wife hand and ate your damn food, and now we're leaving. He came.
He is very intense, always. This show is always funny because I've only watched a couple episodes of this. It's The Boys, and people don't realize what's even funnier is when I see people now are saying that The Boys is propaganda against frat boys and Trumpers and stuff. When I'm like, y'all, I was like, y'all clearly have never read this before, read the books, or have seen the show. They've literally been picking on you the entire time. It's funny when people come to a realization of that people are picking on them. But they said Cam Ward's face when they see everyone saying his Heisman moment when he's the reason why. When the pick 6 and everything was the reason why. They're cheering him for being the good guy in this. He's like, oh. Which again, I think Cam is really, really good. Cam Ward is I stayed up to 2:30 in the morning watching that game for Cam Ward and Cam Ward only. Oh man, I thought Londa was saying something else when he was on All Fours. Okay, thank God. He can park a Suburban in his nose. Got it. But yeah, Penn Station on a neutral field. Penn State's getting mollywop. The only thing I'll say about Miami is I thought more highly of their offensive line than what I've been seeing the last couple of games. And on the flip side, I thought more highly of their defensive line. But what it seemed, and I thought less highly of their secondary, and I thought their linebackers were good. But their secondary, outside of the blown coverages, and their linebacker play is kind of what really got them there. And I do think Bain is extreme. Bain and actually, excuse me, when buddy from Michigan State, I can't think of his name right now. Oh man, but the defensive tackle. Anyways, when he switched from D end to D tackle, that motherfucker was eating against Cal in the second half. Man, it was beautiful. Barrow, thank you. Sam, yes, Barrow. Barrow was Barrow was who I was thinking of. Barrow was definitely was fucking shit up, man. Once he started getting there. Sylvester Rucker, I'm gonna do an FSU show later, but if you go back and you watch the teach tape, I think those five, I'm gonna tell you the truth, the 5 offensive linemen who played last week against Clemson, that needs to be their 5 O linemen moving forward. Those guys actually gave when you look at how much time he had in the pocket, you'll be more disappointed in the results, especially when you see that interception. That interception is criminal. That was very piss poor execution on the quarterback's part. You had 2 wide ass open motherfuckers, and you threw it to the defender who was in between the 2 wide ass motherfuckers. But if you watch the show, you'll understand motherfucker ball, and you'll understand more. But go to the next thing. This made me like Cam Ward even more. Don't need it for the Jags, but somebody's going to get a highly energetic player that's a real one. Just listen to. I as a guy who's been on ABC cursing after he beat Miami, I fully respect this kid's gangster.
You just gotta keep playing football. Oh yeah, the shit too. About, nigga. Shit, boy. Hey, you just gotta keep playing football. Oh yeah, the shit too. About, nigga.
You know how people pick? If anybody picks on, they pick on the vice president, right? They say when she gets around black people, she talks more black. When she's around white people, she talks more white. Can you play this again? See, I think this is what happens when you don't actively learn about what it's like. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because again, if you've never had to be in those situations where you've had to code switch, kudos to you. You wouldn't know what code switching is. This is the best example of code switching that I can find you in football. He was very professional. Homie came in, flipped to who he is, and then flipped right back to the professional. Push play again. This is code switching. He forgot who he was at. It happens.
You just gotta keep playing football. Oh yeah,
code switch.
About, nigga. Shit, boy.
Flip right back.
Hey, you just gotta keep playing
I'm just
football.
saying, like that. The beautiful things about sports, man, is like, yo, good shit too. That's what the fuck I'm talking about, man. When you say the thing about, I can do it. Do it all the time. Actually, I try to be who I am in every aspect, but I also know that you got to change it up for different audiences. You want to see the greatest example? You know who doesn't say, who I would never say nigga with or any epitaphs or curse around? I would curse around him, but we won't do it on the show, and that's Greg. I'm still clearly who I am around Greg McGarity. I probably say some shit just in a cleaner way that Greg's like, I can't believe he said that. But Greg fucks with it. So if you go look at our Drive to Selection show, that's still James Coleman. James Coleman just don't cut. Not just James Coleman without cussing. When I go do 10-10, it's a little bit elevated. And then when it's me, and it's just me, and I control everything, I talk how I want to talk. Because you know what happens now, that's ESPN's fault, though, technically. That's why we have the dump button. And what should have happened, and for those who don't know, games are on delay. All that is tape delayed. It's supposed to be tape delayed by 7 seconds. That's when the person in the room is supposed to go boom, push the button. Matter of fact, one time when me and Travis Johnson were on, I forgot who our producer was at the time. He got mad because he had to, because then at 10-10 we had the dump button was in a whole nother room.
Yeah.
So he had to keep getting up and running to the other room and pushing dump button. Matter of fact, if you were listening to us live on radio, you don't know what me and Travis said because it's just nothing but, hey man, what's going on? Hey, got to do That's how it sounded. But then when you listen to it like on the YouTube or you listen to it live like on the SoundCloud, it sounded completely different though. So ESPN will pay that fine because yeah. My bad. All right. But go to the next thing. I like that kind of energy. You need a guy like that. Like Jameis was hokey. But here's the real. I found out the real reason Miami. We don't get to have all of our teams being good here in the state of Florida. You have to pick and choose, right? You have to find a team you want to sacrifice. So Florida State was doing well with Florida State basketball when we sacrificed. We didn't but we didn't do a full blood sacrifice. Got to get rid of Ham. Didn't get rid of Coach Hamilton yet. He's still there. And that's why we only got 2 good years. When God tells you what to do, you got to do what he tells you to do. You know what Miami did? They have sacrificed their women's basketball program. I know their women's basketball program this year will not be any good. You know why? It's not one, damn, I don't know if I can call it that. The lesbian that don't look like a lesbian. The lesbians that look like men, but they're not a transmission. You know, that one. Not one of them was in sight. Their basketball team is entirely too pretty. Push the button so they can see what I'm talking about. Here is the real reason. Not only did they sacrifice their team, I know. Oh, stud. Thank you. I was going to say something. Thank you. Appreciate you, Adrian. Not one stud in sight. Too pretty. Push. Like, them girls ain't interested in hooping. Them girls are being, like, those girls serving a purpose. And if you're a Miami fan, you need to thank them for their service because they're making sure that your players are adequately serviced. As the dumb chick that's aggressively eating men's asses out here, Suki with the good pussy or whatever her name is. Don't know one song she's made, but I just know her through social media. She said we need someone to ejaculate. Y'all need to be serious and ejaculate before the hurricane. And I think these women are ejaculating the hurricanes and making sure that they're doing very, very well. You know, I'm with you, Luke. That's a bit bad, bro. Go to the next thing. Now, going to what I said, and don't leave this in the hands of the officials, but targeting is unnecessary force to the head or neck area of a player. Now, he was a runner because he did not slide. But let's get to the video, slow it down. And again, this call, Miami also had 5 on the touchdown pass to the tight end. They literally, it was. I thought it was maybe one of those ones where maybe the throw was behind the line of scrimmage, but he did have. There were 3 offensive linemen blocking at the goal line, which is literally 5 yards. You get 2 yards. They were way down there. Again, even if you took that off, there's no way the motherfucker should have been in that position to score 25 points in that many times. So even if you're a Cal fan and you're mad about the call, be mad at your players for putting that shit into the hands of the referee. Oh, my shirt is clearly. I come from an era where I don't give a fuck about targeting.
Until they get back
All
on.
right. But all right. So I don't even care about targeting. I just wish they would either call it or not call it. And the problem is that day, less egregious things happen, and it's nerve-wracking more than anything. But let's just slow it down and play it. And like, just see. Because I think it was a very good hit, personally. So we got echo. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because it came back on. Okay. But let's play the video. You cannot, one of the things that they stress, you cannot lower your head. The crown of the helmet is the top. That is literally the crown, and you cannot launch, which take away football. Like, honest to God's truth, I hate that because that's fucking football. He lowered his shoulder and his head. You get to lower your shoulder and head. And the only way you can play this game is to step on toes and launch and give a 6-inch punch. Like, it's literally like fucking get up in there and thrust your hips 6 inches forward. Just boom. That in that moment, and the guy was dropped, and he was woozy, and he caught him in the fucking ear hole with it. Which again, in my era, is good football. I loved it, Luke. Again, I was talking with Luke. Luke can tell you what I said. I said this is about to be fucked up. What they're about to do to Miami for this kid making this play. And when they didn't call it, I said, "Cool, that was a good no call." The other play that was a no call. That was to like your entire body has to be beyond the line. It has to be behind the line of scrimmage when you throw it. Not part of your body, your entire body. They literally put the black line, and half of his body was over the black line, and half of his body was behind it. When he threw the pass to, I believe, Martinez that got them into a situation. But I also said, you give my man 2 plays. With that much time, he is going to win this game. But to Cal fans' defense, there were 3 calls between the end of this drive and their game-winning drive where shit happens. Now, I'm going to tell you something, Miami fans, and I'm going to tell you something, Florida State fans. Florida State fans, instead of being bitches and crying about how woe is me and how the world's going, drop your nuts, go to Alpha Clinic online, get you some testosterone if you need to, get some estrogen blockers because y'all letting that estrogen flow, and stop trying to pretend like it's that bad and be what Miami fans have been. Because you know what's going to happen if they do make the playoffs and they keep playing like this. Because they are like 2014 Florida State. And if you want to say last year's Florida State team, if that product plays the University of Georgia, it ain't going to end well with all of their star players. And I'm only saying that because I don't see Alabama and Georgia, Texas, if they got put into this scenario where they were up 25 points on Miami, where they would just they had the opportunity to still be able to score on Miami's defense. Cal stopped scoring. Their last points came from a pick 6 by Cam Ward. And if Cam Ward does that stuff where with the best part of Cam Ward's game is the scariest part of Cam Ward's game. He's laissez-faire. Nothing shakes him. That's beautiful. The problem is he throws the ball across his body a lot. He does a lot of things that you can actually exploit. But I do love that for him. I like the kid. He's a great competitor. He's a dope athlete. He ain't sitting there about to just jerk somebody or glaze them off. When they asked him about what it's going to be, what is it like playing against his cousin, he said, "Fuck my cousin," basically. I love that shit, man. Now, The other part of it is just like Florida State loves to blame Atkins, and you see all these different things, and there are route combos that I absolutely abhor. Again, I'm not going to go into that with Florida State because I just did a whole fucking damn near 2 hours of teach tape that y'all asses can go over there and watch me break down the film, and I will do another FSU show where I do hate some of these concepts where we have wide receivers in the same pair of draws. As a matter of fact, that one touchdown that Amari Williams caught, damn near, everybody keeps talking about Freddie Young as LaWayne McCoy damn near knocked his ass out. One thing I can promise you is 2 wide receivers should not be at the same point of the ball in the end zone like that. That's not how the game is designed. I have told Luke, I've told any other Miami fans, you do not have a wartime consigliere at offensive coordinator. And it's just, but when Cam stopped trying to go to force the ball deep and started taking the short shit, that's when they started coming back. And he was the reason why he was getting sacked, because what Cal was doing was they were forcing him in the pocket. They got pushed up the middle, and their spy, the minute that he saw an opening, his ass just attacked that bitch and then got Cam stressing. But like the other thing too is Cam's wind supply is amazing. His legs, like that motherfucker be running the whole. I wonder how many yards Cam actually runs in a game between side to side and circles and all this other shit, because it's got to be amazing. It's got to be a lot. So anyways, on that note, man, I'm going to end this because I got to do some film breakdown and return for a couple phone calls, man. Listen, guys, I hope everybody is staying safe with the storm. Real talk, all jokes aside, I believe I want you guys to be around. And, if you can, well, it's too late to evacuate. Anytime that there's a natural disaster, if you ever get a chance to evacuate, I do think you should evacuate. And if you can't evacuate, be with somebody you can ejaculate with. Because if you're going to die, at least die unhorny. So on that note, man, appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me. We will see you guys next time.